everybody. Welcome to another video iWoof. Got a short little one. We had a couple posts on our YouTube video, Train Your Dog to Lie Down. Which has been pretty successful, got a bunch of views, but a couple people have pointed out, we must admit accurately, that when Ian is showing Hugo to lie down, Hugo, this is not Hugo's first rodeo. He'd heard of the down command before.
He's a ringer.
So while we were demonstrating proper luring procedure, some people noted that when they tried it with their dog would just put its head down.
It doesn't always go so smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's true. And it wasn't done in any kind of attempt to fool anyone, but we had 3 dogs that do lie down, especially if you pull out a lure. I mean,
right.
We don't lure them at this stage of training. That's been phased out a long time ago. So you pull out a lure with a trained dog, and they're like, easy street.
Mm-hmm.
They can totally get into that. So Hugo, I think, was probably, if I recall, slamming into his downs all professionally
Indeed.
and enthusiastically. And it does not always go that way, though sometimes it does.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it does. But we should make a new video. We need to find
some untrained dogs.
A random untrained dog, and I guess we could just use one from puppy class. And frankly, if you go to our Puppy 1 video, you'll probably see luring real time. We must have that.
You will, I can guarantee, as the person who edited a few of those videos, you will see some videos of the luring not working very well.
Yeah. And then hopefully eventually working.
Right, and there are definitely a few times in the video where, while I was filming, that I wanted to provide some tips to people. But of course, in a class, there's a lot going on. So Nicole usually got to them eventually, and so usually we have the video of it working.
Oh, good. And that is where is that? That's in the actual DSD TV serious puppy class section.
Yep. So if you go to DSD, so if you go to Dog Star Daily, I guess you can probably find it on YouTube, but yeah, you have to look for serious.
Well, we can link to that at the bottom of this question, because I'm sure we can find a little bit of that. But these people that have noted that, they're correct. Luring is a technique that you need. You need some skills to do. Now, granted, it's a pretty easy skill. Just a few quick tips for this. When you are holding a lure on the dog's nose, and this is only the first couple of trials to help manipulate them into position without touching them physically, your lure has to be like a magnet on their nose. The general problems people have is when they are making these giant, gross movements, moving too quickly and too far. It isn't a handle. It's a magnet, so there's a difference. So if the dog, for instance, is not going into a down all of the way, down is a vulnerable position. They might not be comfortable doing it on a hard floor right away. They might not be interested in making themselves that calm in the middle of a fun puppy class. So they're initially a little more resistant. It's not as easy for them to do as sit. I would say psychologically, it just has more behind it. But most people are just putting their food to the ground too quickly, as if it's a target, versus helping the nose go down. And then it's all about looking at your dog's body position. Some people also have the make the mistake of going down and out, away from the puppy, thinking that they're going to pull it out, and then they end up standing forward and just reaching forward. And that will get a dog to walk forward or stand. So you want to go straight down from their nose to their chest, and maybe even slightly in. So they kind of have to fold into themselves to get it, versus reaching out. Occasionally you get a dog that, once you're halfway down, you can then pull it out a little bit so they continue to crawl forward. So there's some mechanics in there. Does that make sense? You go down, push in a little bit, and then for some dogs, you might, once they're halfway down, they don't know what to do, they're kind of hunched, you might walk them forward. But it is nice. You get a better, cleaner performance down. Sphinx, we call it the Sphinx down, when all 4 legs are still primed and ready for action. You get a better down when you fold them back into that versus when you pull forward. There are some larger, slower type dogs that if they sit and you pull forward, they still do that. But that's a very casual down, and it doesn't look as snappy. They can't do that as quickly in the ring. If you're ever doing any kind of sport, they might be breaking a barrier by having their legs go too far forward. So it is nice to get a nice Sphinx down, and then for your long-term stay or your rest period when they have to settle, you can then teach them to shift onto their hip and kind of lie in a more relaxed
Right.
The Sphinx down means it's ready. You're ready for action. You know, they're going to do something again soon. And, you know, be ready to be told to sit again, or to come when called, or to heel. Whereas if you're just chilling out, then we want to teach them a casual down.
Yeah.
Which they can. You also do that by luring and shifting to the side. So there's a few tips. Generally,
I had a couple
go
other things I wanted to add.
Okay.
It seems like while I was watching some of the puppy class things, one of the things that would work better also was to make sure that your hand was palm down.
Yes.
Because I guess if you're holding your treat like this, then the dog's head can come from above. But if you got it like this, then the dog kind of wants to get its head underneath it.
Absolutely.
And so if it's got to kind of turn its head sideways and put it on the ground, it's going to have to lower more of its body.
It's all about the weight shifting again and the mechanics of the dog's body.
Right.
Good call.
Which these, you know, a lot of these things would work a lot better if we could actually demonstrate them, and we will. It's just a matter of time.
We'll make a new video.
And then one other thing I feel like I've noticed with people luring, like you were saying, people just kind of make these gross movements where it's just like up, down. And sometimes that works for some dogs, but if your dog isn't following your lure, there are things that you can do to make your lure more exciting. Rather than making these big, very predictable movements, I feel like, you know, this works a lot for dogs, where you're kind of like twitching your fingers, you know, you're moving it like it's a little mouse or a little squirrel.
Absolutely.
Where, you know, I'm sure everyone knows that your dog probably is interested in squirrels. You know, there's a reason for that. And you can harness that. If your dog is not interested in your lure, make it more squirrel-like.
Yes, and often in demonstration, I'm really glad you brought that up. It's a huge point. And often in demonstration, for clarity's sake, the trainer will be going slowly and methodically so it can be seen. And maybe we need to do a more real-life one, because it is, you know, chase. Make the lure fun. You want your dog to follow a lure. The lure's got to move.
Yeah.
And be interesting, but not in a kind of spastic, grand way.
Right.
Remember that your dog's nose should be on the lure. It's not a signal, not yet.
Right, eventually.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
actually, you know, something that where your dog should be right there with it, and that means you need to have something that they want, that you should be covering it so they can't get to it, and moving in interesting but calculated with calculated precision, watching your dog's body mechanics to see what would best help them.
Right, I mean, that's the thing. It's part of science, but it is part an art where you have to see what your dog is doing, and
Your
some
size
dogs
of your
need
dog
more
makes
energy.
a big difference,
Some
too.
needs to be calmed. Yeah.
You know,
Big dogs, little dogs.
Yeah, the little dog is, you know, you try telling a dachshund to lie down, and they're already, I swear, they look at you and think, you kidding me? I'm already down. How much lower do you want me to go? You know, but, you know, they're often more reluctant, but think of how tiny that movement has to be to finesse a dog when your margin of error is only this far.
Definitely the smaller dogs require
A
precision.
Great Dane puppy, where you have all this room. So all of that matters. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe we need to have like a compilation of several different sizes and types of lures.
We definitely need to do some more
fun.
demonstration luring videos to kind of do the art of luring for different dogs.
No, we could go to one puppy class and probably get 8 to 12 puppies right there and just say, this is how this one lures, and just do a quick 30 seconds. All right, good idea. Let's do it.
Step one, though, will be getting Ian in town for more than 2 days at a time.
Well, we can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
We can do it.
And I'd say one last little practical tip. It seems like dogs are really into it when you tap the ground. I don't know exactly what it is, but like the luring and actually tapping the ground is really good for getting a dog to come, but as well to get their interest in lying down. So that's my last idea.
Okay. Play with it though. Every dog is different, and it is a dynamic, action. So you.
Sorry. And there one other thing
was one. I know.
There are some very good step-by-step illustrations in how to teach a new dog old tricks, and Dr. Dunbar's Good Little Dog book, which aren't for free online on the website, but if you can get your hands on a copy of it, there are some good kind of hacks for getting your dog to lie down. There's one like going underneath your leg, or I think there are a couple other ones, but yeah, so.
And all of this is just to get your dog to understand the concept initially.
Right.
Once they understand the concept and get reinforced and rewarded for being in that position, you'd be surprised at how quickly you don't need any of these things.
Right.
So you will be able to use a hand signal or a verbal cue if trained right. So it's not like you're going to be at the park, sitting on the ground trying to get your dog to lie down by luring under. That's just to initially manipulate them in a comfortable, easy, friendly way.
Right. All right. Well,
That's it for now.
good luck with it. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up.